Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode back here on the Hermitcraft Amplified server. Oh, I was just getting ready to record and I stood on top of this slime block and the game started freaking out and I was like, let's go into F5, see what that looks like. Strange stuff. Can I get off of there now? Thank you. Cheers. We're back here on the server. It feels a little bit different to look around and just take everything in because I am back from Download Festival. Aha! And yeah, always after you take a break from playing this game for a while, you come back and it just feels a little bit odd looking around and doing, you know, the usual thing. But it doesn't take too long for your mind to adjust. Why are there these random blocks here in a chest? I do not know, but whatever. Let's go down here. Yep, I'm back from Download Festival. Some of the videos you've been watching over the weekend and the last few that I've loaded were, of course, pre-recorded while I went away. And I had an absolutely fantastic time, as always. I always absolutely adore going to Download Festival or any concert, music, show, gig, whatever you want to call it. I always have a great time because I have a deep affinity for music. I really do. It's like my favourite thing. and no matter how many times I go to Download, I always come away from it feeling absolutely fantastic and inspired. And I'm inspired to play Minecraft as well because before I went over there I had an idea for a project, and for those of you that watch my live stream, you would have seen that we popped onto the Plot World server and built a stadium. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Right now I want to go and grab some iron for the iron farm because we're going to use a lot of this, but we're going to be starting a brand new project in today's episode. Nothing to do with our base, nothing to do with anything we've done before. We're going to be building a stadium. And I've got the inspiration for this, and I'm feeling pretty inspired after Download as well. Though it's not the same sort of inspiration. I kind of really want to write some music or something like that, which is what I used to do when I was younger, because I have been going to Download Festival for pretty much like 9 years, approaching 10 years now. I've missed a few in recent, but I've been to so many of them, and every time after you watch all your favourite bands, it's so inspiring. I used to like come back and write lots of music, but that's kind of not what I do anymore, so I thought, right, I'm going to enjoy some music, and this is new. This could possibly be spoilers, so it looks really cool. I tell you what, we're just going to walk out of here and not pay too much attention to that. I'm not going to turn around and show too much more of that straight away. I'm going to have a look for myself in a moment. Got a feeling that's going to look really cool. But yeah, back to talking about Download. I've been so many times, seen so many of my favourite bands play there, and just always have such a fantastic time. And because I've got the inspiration to do this, we're going to just have fun and roll with it and do some building. So, you may have seen a couple of episodes ago, we played Tango Ball over here. And what we're going to be doing in this episode is actually, I was going to go and put my chest down in the middle of this area because we're going to do some building over here. But people might want to play this while I'm working on it, so actually we'll just go outside. Man, I am so bad at this walking and talking, getting distracted by all the things that are going on. We come back here to get some more supplies. We're going to head over to Impulse's area, and we'll get back to talking about what we're doing there in a moment. But I didn't really finish talking about Download. I just wanted to kind of leave you guys with a message, and that is if you've ever looked at festivals and thought, man, this looks like something I'd really like. You know, I'm into music. Should I go to a gig? I would encourage you to go and check it out because they are absolutely fantastic experiences. I had a really great time, and I'm actually going to write up about my favourite bands that I saw and just a little bit about Download on my music blog. For those of you that have been following me for a while, you've probably heard me mention it before, and as always there's a link down there in the description box if you're interested in that. But I write about the albums that I listen to as time goes by, and I've written a little article about Download Festival, my favourite performances I saw there, which you'll be able to read by the time this video goes out. So go down to the description box and check that out if that's something that you're interested in. And we're over here at Impulse's area. I love it. Always look up when you come here and you're like, wow, that is a really great ceiling. We're going to pick this thing back up because I don't think the glass is something I dropped off. Let's just put that in over there. I spoke to him about this. I don't think he really understood my humour here much. I wasn't really asking for a refund. I thought it would just be a fun little way to start something off. I don't know, maybe a prank or something like that. But anyway, this wood is going to be useful to us because we're going to be building a football stadium. So let's head back over there. And a little something about me. When I was younger, I went to a lot of away games around the UK and saw tons and tons of football stadiums. And that's always kind of left me with a little bit of an interest, a curiosity, a fascination with football stadiums. you know, all these different ones that we have in the UK. A lot of them aren't like big sort of arena modern style stadiums, although slowly they're being replaced. But in the UK, you have lots of old sort of rundown, really odd looking stadiums that are, you know, built up in different eras. So you usually have like all sorts of different sides and sizes, and I don't know, I was always kind of fascinated by that, and so I've always been interested in stadiums. And one of the things I've always found fun building in this game is a stadium. Whenever I've done it before, I just sort of really roll with it and just get on and build a stadium, and that's what we did in a live stream recently. So there'll be a link to that down there in the description box. I had some inspiration, and we headed over here, and we copied the let's look down. We copied the Tango Ball game. Oh, I've got to call it that now, aren't I? The Iron Ball game onto my creative server, and we just kind of built a stadium around it, and it looked ever so good. And this is what I've got the inspiration for. I was like, man, I could build that in survival. One of the things I love doing is just plodding on and getting on with some building. And when you know exactly what you're doing, that can be a lot more fun. I can chill out, listen to some music, do some building, and share that with all of you. So we've got some iron over here, and the wood type that we need is actually just spruce. We technically don't need these other ones, but I'm sure we're going to be crafting some things as we do this. So already know what we're going to be doing. I've spoken to Impulse about it, and we're going to be building a stadium that goes around this area. So we can look over in that direction now without spoilers. And there is a little bit of a problem. When I copied this out of the world save and put it on my server, I forgot that there was this over here. So if we go and look on this side, you will see that it goes pretty close to the edge over here to where Tango's been building. So we might have a little bit of difficulty on this side, but since we've done that, Impulse has kind of modified this a little bit, so everything's going to be raised up, and we should be able to build a really nice seating layout that can go the entire way around. And then what we might do is put some like executive boxes above this area, although I don't think we need to do that anymore, because before all of this was in the way, so you had some raised up boxes with like a VIP kind of view. So what we might do is put that down on this end. But anyway, building this thing is going to be pretty easy because it's mainly built out of things like iron blocks. What I do need though is a lot of sea lanterns, and there's probably other things that I need to think about as well. You know, we're going to use loads of cauldrons, iron blocks, iron bars will be used, also some redstone lamps, and a few other things as well. Oh yeah, we also need birchwood for stairs, so we've got that sorted out. That's great. Okay, so we need to do a little bit more resource gathering, which I'll do now, and I'll look down at the ground here, and then we can talk about how we're going to build this, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really big project, and I'm really going to enjoy it, I can tell. So I finished the supply run. It was really easy to get all of these materials. Got some sea lanterns from XP, gave him some diamonds for those. Let's keep some of that in our inventory. The sand here, by the way, is for glass, and these are all of the other materials that we are going to be needing in this build. And we're just going to dump them off here, and then I need to take some of these. We're going to take some iron. What I want to do is build a little bit of a segment of this together quickly, and actually I'll take that. And just so you can see the kind of shape of this thing, and there isn't a crafting bench around here. Of course there's not. Let's make one of those temporarily. I need to make some cauldrons, because cauldrons are going to be the seats in this. And of all the different seat designs you can use, cauldrons are kind of the simplest because you just put down the single block and it looks alright, but the main thing about the cauldron is you can also sit inside of it as well. So we've got our cauldrons, sea lanterns, and now we just need to make some stairs like this, and we can build a little bit of a segment. Now I don't know where exactly the stairs are supposed to go themselves, so I'll figure that out in a moment. But I can tell you that actually we do need that glass that I've got, the yellow and red glass. Let's just go and grab that quickly. Where did I put it? Down in this bottom one. Yeah, because Impulse has kind of changed the design here a little bit. In fact, I might change his design a bit as well. You see, players can get caught on the sides down here. So if we made it so it went red, then iron, then red again, it would work a little bit better with what I'm trying to do. But I don't think I'm going to do that now. We won't change it up. So let's go and put down some like this, and then some glass going between it. So that's going to be the front of the seating area right there, and that could be one block lower, but it'll be fine for now. We could also do something with the space down below, because you'll have these windows that are sort of looking into nowhere, and there's an opportunity to put something there. So there's the walking space, and behind that we're going to put sea lanterns. So what's really cool about this is that the cauldrons are a sort of see-through block in some ways. Have we got Silk Touch? No, don't hate me. We're going to break it. And because of that, it means that we can put a few rows of sea lanterns, because remember we've got them in abundance thanks to XB, and then that will light up the entire area, so we don't really need to worry about lighting. And then our lamps that we're going to put in this project are basically going to be purely aesthetic, so we're going to have it go back like this. And I haven't really thought too much about where I was going to start building this, because we're going straight into a landmass behind us, which is something I didn't have to deal with when I built this in creative mode, because we just had the pitch right here, and there was just free space around it, whereas we're now going to be going into mountains and stuff like that. So anyway, this thing is going to be, how many rows deep is it? 5, I think? And it looked really good at 5. You could overdo it, you could underdo it. 5 seemed to be the right amount. So somewhere back here there's going to be another row of sea lanterns, and I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this one right here would be sea lanterns again. So now all of these cauldrons, you know, are spawn proof, although I don't think mobs can actually spawn on cauldrons. No, I don't think they can. And I've probably tested that before, but you know me and my memory. It's terrible. There we go. So then at the back here, we will have, yeah, just some white glass, I think. I don't think it goes up anymore. Did I keep the white glass on me? I didn't. I'll tell you what, I'll put some of this down temporarily so you can get an idea. So what we'll do is have, oh, I'm going to have to break it again without Silk Touch. There we go. I'll go get a Silk Touch pick, don't worry. And we're going to have it too high like this. And then every so often we'll have a little pillar that will go up to the ceiling. Like that, just goes up. And then there'll be a walkway behind this as well. And then on the side of this, where you've got this pillar, we're going to have like a walkway going up. Except the thing is, I decided to build this in the most awkward spot that you could, because it goes right into the land. So I think what I'd be wise to do here is figure out how much space we need and then clear it out going across here. And it's only this little bit right here that's really in the way at the moment. Of course, when we go into the corner there, because this thing is going to wrap around the corners as well, it's going to get a little bit tricky. But I guess what we need now is a beacon, right? We've got no beacon effects. We could do haste. That's going to make things a lot easier for sure. But also, this game could do with a beacon as well. A lot of you have been suggesting putting on resistance or regeneration. The both of those together would work really well. You know, resistance means you take less damage. Regeneration will heal you. And also, you could then use speed and things like that to change the game a little bit. You know, you could have a speed game where you can move faster, and it just makes the game a little bit different. So we've got plenty of iron. We just need some beacons, and there's no ender chest around here. That's what this place could really do with, an ender chest. So I'm going to go grab one of those and bring it over here, and we'll construct that beacon. So I've been looking around here, thinking about where the beacon could go. And if we're going to have 2 of them for this game, then I was thinking maybe you could do something like have one under there somewhere, or make it so that it sort of comes up through the carpet, and have another one on the opposite side. But I'll probably talk to Impulse about that, where that can go. You know, there's redstone around here. We'll probably want controls to turn them on and off. And also, if we're going to use speed, I guess that would mean there'd be more than 2. So what we'll do is we'll do a temporary one for now. And I was just looking at this as I thought, we'll just put it over here. And then I was trying to remember how many blocks you need for this. And we discussed this a little bit on the live stream as well that we did in the Nether recently. That you just got to do the maths. 9 by 9 is what you need to make a full-powered beacon with 1 block in the middle for the beacon itself. So of course you can make a little grid of 3 like this and put a beacon in the middle, but if you want a full-powered one, it's 9 by 9, 9 by 1, and you can put 1 in the middle. So let's say you wanted 4, then you'd know it'd be 10 by 10, and then you'd end up with 4. And if you wanted to make one with 5, then you could make 11 by 11, and you'd have 9 spaces in the middle. But there you go, something to remember. Whenever you're making a beacon base, you want to make it nice and simple. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just count up to 9. So that's 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I pictured myself doing a whole bunch of digging today. That's why we got this haste beacon. Maybe I should have thought about that a little bit more, because we've got this area here. It's going to curl around this corner a bit. That's a fair bit of digging, but then there's loads of space along this side and that side as well, and that's probably the only bit we're going to have to do. But it doesn't matter. What I've done over here is I put in the corner. Now this was done by a couple of builders on my server, Kivan, as I always mispronounce his name, and Fozzie. I'm never really good at doing those kind of corners, but now that I look at it, it's really simple just to bring it together like that. I should have given it a shot at least, but anyway, they put together a nice curve for the corner, which will make a lot more sense when you see the roof and the ceiling, or whatever you want to call it, because that's a little bit more intricate than that. But anyway, this is where the stairs leading up are going to go. So I've kind of built some of this in the wrong position, but it's not too much to rip it out. So before, all of this was lowered down, and you had this box right here kind of sticking out alongside it. So it made sense to put the stairs right up against it, which is something I probably should have remembered. So with that being the wall, it'll be 1, 2, 3 like this, and that's going to be the stairs. So all of them in the stadium are going to be 3 wide. They're going to be spaced out a little bit different on the longer sides, that's for sure. But over on this side, it's just like this. So I know those sea lanterns are now technically sort of not being used and wasted, but it's fine, don't worry about it. And now we can just put cauldrons all the way around in between, which is going to be nice and simple. And I like this. I love building this because it's so easy to build. You're just using the same old blocks, building big shapes, putting down things. It's nice and repetitive. You don't have to make every little bit detailed, which is really cool. And I just thought that the corner over here is going to look pretty cool once the seats are in place. Or at least I think it looks a little bit better. And yeah, earlier I said about how the cauldrons, you can kind of sit in them. What we used to do on the Plot World server is have this thing that would push back players away from me, because sometimes on a building everyone likes to get in my face. It can be a little bit difficult. And we found out that players could sit inside the cauldrons and they could stay sat there. So we used to set up these little rows of seats and everyone would come along and... Am I inside the cauldron? There we go, that's strange. Took me a while to drop down. Yeah, and they sit inside the cauldron and like hang out and watch. There we go, look, sitting in my cauldron seat. Amazing. Anyway, this is awesome. I'm really enjoying this, listening to some cool music while I hang out here and do some building, etc. And it's just, like I said, inspiration. That's what I'm going to call this video. Awesome. Anyway, I will continue building. And yeah, and then I'll show you what I've built. Wow, it is really coming along now. This has been awesome. It's been so much fun building all of this, and you can really start to get a feel for the shape of this thing now. It's looking real good. I've done a lot of stuff. You can see all the things that I've done. What I want to show you is that over on this side, you can see the walkway here. It gets very thin because we've got about 1 block of room to work with right here. And I think it's the roof that's going to suffer on this side. It's going to be a little bit different. But otherwise, apart from this, the entire thing would be symmetrical the whole way around. And when we built this before, there is a creeper, and I have a zoom key, dancing. Hey, I saw you doing that. He was actually dancing. I've seen them spin around, but that guy was man, that was so cool. We had a creeper dancing. Oh, that's what creepers do when you're not looking at them. They dance. Confirmed. Oh, yeah. So what was I saying? I want him to dance again. He's not going to. So dancing creepers are distracting. What I was trying to say is that there used to be this thing that went over the top and dropped the iron golems in to the middle of the pitch. Now that's been changed. If you haven't seen Impulse's videos, then you might not remember that. But at the time that we designed this stadium on the Plot World server during the live stream, it was still there. So over on this side, we decided to do things differently and put in some executive boxes. But now that things have changed, I guess we don't need them anymore, right? Well, I was thinking, no, we want to keep the executive boxes because it would be a really fun way to collaborate with some of the other hermits. We could invite everyone to come over and sort of decorate their own executive box. So I was thinking what we'll do is we'll put some on that side and maybe this side over here. So behind the wall that's going to be at the back, there would then be some executive boxes, and this is going to be in the way, but we'll take it down when we're done building. And then I also noticed down the bottom here, you can see there's these big windows, and these could totally be used as well. So let's go and jump down into the pitch here. I was thinking this isn't so bad. Not so bad at all, is it? Maybe what we'd do is we'd take out this line here and just make that one big box, and then over here you can see we've got a pillar there, but it's not exactly in the middle, is it? So maybe if we were to put some iron blocks there, that kind of looks in the middle, then we'd have, 3 executive boxes there, we could have another 3 on that side, and then over here it wouldn't be quite the same. So I don't know what we're going to do, but I think that's going to be fun. We're going to build some little rooms that other people can play around with. They're going to be a little bit limited because they can't change up the ceiling that much, but it'll still be a really fun project, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to make some changes with like the posts and the windows here. But the next thing we'll do is start working on the top of this, and also we're going to fill in the entire thing with cauldrons. And you know what I've been thinking? This building's fun, I'm having a good time. I think it'd be fun to turn this into a time lapse, and that's probably what we're going to do. So you're probably hearing some music right now, which means I decided to do a time lapse. Seriously, that bit of the song is just awesome. In fact, the end of this song is pretty amazing. Wow, look at this place right here. It has turned out pretty good, hasn't it? And this isn't finished, of course not. We've got a roof to build. We've got a lot more work to do here. This is really going to be something special, and building this was so much fun. You know, it's really nice to just work with something really simple here. Just a few building blocks, basically iron, you know, working with a shape and just having a blast building it all. I have had a lot of fun putting this together so far. Can't wait to hear what you all think about this project. Of course, it's going to take us probably a couple more episodes, and I hope you don't mind us breaking from the base here, but I wanted to follow my inspiration. I really wanted to build a stadium over here, and it's looking great so far. But that is going to be it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, as always, please do leave a like. Do appreciate your support, which, by the way, was really great while I was away at Download. It was nice to come back and read all the comments and see all of the awesome things that you guys have said, because you're all too kind. But anyway, what was I going to say? One last thing. Yes, that's right. The download blog will be down there in the description box. I mentioned it earlier in the video. Just thought I'd mention it again in case you were interested in that. And that's it from me this episode. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.